John Pownall is perched halfway up a frozen waterfall. It's like a scene from the Canadian Rockies, the Swiss Alps or the Himalayas. Except John isn't overseas. He's ice climbing in Australia.
It's just nuts that it's so cold here and you look around and you can't not see snow. It's really hard to believe that you're standing in Australia.
At Blue Lake in Kosciusko National Park, water dripping over granite rocks freezes into icy pillars that can be climbed with ice axes and crampons. It's the only reliable ice climbing destination in Australia.
Phenomenal to climb up essentially a frozen waterfall.
Australia's got so many things to offer and just so many of it is on your doorstep. It was just brilliant and I wish there were more places we could do it.
Quite often people are quite surprised that there is ice climbing in Australia. I'd say most Australians don't actually know that. People are actually often quite curious as to what I teach on these courses, so I think there is a lot of excitement around it and people are genuinely interested in what's happening.
Rob says ice climbing is experiencing a boom in domestic popularity.
Especially sort of with COVID a few years ago when the resorts were closed, a lot more people getting out into the backcountry skiing and snowboarding, and that opened up the possibility for them to go ice climbing as well. So definitely in the last few years it has been a huge increase.
People have been coming to Blue Lake in Kosciusko National Park for 50 years to climb the ice here. And people travel from all around the world to say that they've ice climbed on every continent on Earth. In Australia, ice climbers are in a constant battle with the conditions. But there's another battle taking place. This year, the Australian School of Mountaineering cancelled 2 courses at the end of August because of poor conditions.
Obviously, climate change. Even in the few years I've been here, I've seen huge changes in the amount of ice out there, and that sort of season to season changes a lot. This week we've got really good ice, but all it takes is one big sort of warm week and a rain event, that ice can totally disappear.
And if the ice disappears, so does the sport. While there's no specific data for Blue Lake, the Australian National University says snow cover in Australia has reduced by 30% since 1954, putting the future of the sport here in doubt.
Well, I've met a lot of people overseas in the mountains who don't even know we have snow in Australia. So when I tell them that we can go skiing and backcountry skiing and then ice climbing as well, they're often quite amazed. And there is quite a sort of expectation of Australians that we don't know how to ski or ice climb, so it's good to prove them wrong sometimes.
While there's still ice, Rob will keep guiding and helping more people to experience the thrill of an adventure sport many Australians don't know exists. James Tugwell, ABC News, Blue Lake.